Hello and welcome to,
Hey, we like your pod.
and we're going to tell you why. Hi, it's Dawn here, and I'm joined, as always, on this wonderful draft night by Matt Pickett. How you doing, Maddie?
Super duper. It's like Christmas, you know. You only get
Oh my
one present
gosh.
though, so it's not like Christmas. Maybe it's more like Hanukkah. I don't know. I'm not Jewish. I haven't lived that, but
Right.
you have like 3 days. That's not
What?
8 days. You know, whatever. It's presents, and that's wonderful. So I'm very excited right now. As we're recording for people who listen later, it's just a little before the Packers pick. I don't know if we'll still be going when they actually do pick. I think the Colts just picked Tyler
Yes.
Warren. I think his name is right. So yeah, exciting. They just picked up Tyler Warren, number 14. So we're getting close to number 23 for the Packers. So yeah, just very excited about that. And over here, you know, things are good. I'm having a great week. And yeah, just real happy. I'm in a really good mood tonight, Don. Just especially because we haven't talked in like 3 weeks, I think. So it's been too
I
long.
know.
And just
Thank
really happy
you
to
for
be
your
here with you.
patience. Oh, I am
Oh,
so happy to be with you too. I mean, I have so much to talk about because we've done the mock draft and now we're on
mhm.
draft night. But I will say, I kind of teared up seeing Lambeau Field tonight with everybody there.
Mhm.
And then I want to say, Goodell coming out on a bicycle,
That's
that
cool.
just broke me.
I like that.
I'm like, oh, um, yeah, that was just too much, too sweet, too wholesome for words. So, yeah. So I'm giddy. I'm happy. It looks like, everybody in Titletown is having a great time. And I haven't had a chance to like check in. I jumped on Grassi's feed for a minute
Mhm.
or his live stream for a minute, but I've got things going on here and and then we're doing our recording of our podcast tonight. And so it's just a lot of excitement and happiness all in one day. I love it. And football,
Mhm.
like it's all about the NFL. And it just feels like such a long drought, between Super Bowl and draft and then practice starting. So pretty cool, pretty cool.
Mhm.
So, I have to say, have you had a chance to look at any of the like local Milwaukee or Madison newspapers and the kind or their websites and the kind of coverage that the
No.
locals have done?
No.
Yeah, I think maybe that's why I'm so emotional because it's just been all week leading up to this. It's such a big deal, in
Mhm.
Wisconsin, of course, Green Bay, but in Wisconsin in general. And there are some just fantastic images and I mean all the little events that not little, but all the many events that led up to tonight and the
Mhm.
next couple of days because tonight's not everything, right?
Right.
It's just the first day. Have just been so cool in Wisconsin and so for anyone who can be there in person, it must be kind of overwhelming of choices of things to do. But yeah, it's been great local coverage. So I've enjoyed that a lot. Yeah.
That's awesome, Don. I love that. Like the whole state's excited about that. It's good to hear that
Mm.
because it is really a big deal for it to be in Green Bay. You know,
Mhm.
obviously, and seeing all the the tweets and the skeets and the posts and the whatever else of the
Mhm.
folks who are our pals, our buddies who are in Green Bay for this.
Mhm.
I didn't have any interest in going until I started seeing those, and I've got like the biggest case of FOMO going. But
Yeah,
yeah, I hope
I
they're
know.
having a great time. It does look overwhelming. I think I would definitely be
Mhm.
just like uh, well, overwhelmed. I can't think of a better word than that. So yeah, it looks like a great time. But holy cow.
Yeah, my sister Lori, she's not there, but she's obviously more local than we are, than I
Yeah.
am, and where you are. Um, it was like, "Oh, Corey Banking's on TV. Oh, this is," she's just like sending me all these little, I'm like, "Oh, that's so cool." I saw, okay, totally side thing. I saw a car.
Okay.
I'm not a car person at all. I don't get excited about car. But I saw a car that I just thought was the cutest thing on the planet this week, and
Okay.
it's the new VW bus that's kind of meant to look vintage, but it's all electric.
Okay.
And they even have like the two-tone. And I was like, oh, this is the cool. Oh, I could go on a road trip with Tosh. I had this in my head, and I was sending pictures to my sister and my friends. Like, isn't this the cutest thing? And then I actually saw one. They're brand new. They're like brand spanking new. Most people haven't even heard of them yet. There was one in our parking lot, of course, because of where I live.
Mm-hmm.
To see all the VWs, right? And all the people, the surfers and stuff. So there's one somebody bought, and I got to see one in person, and I was sort of like fantasizing about taking my bus to Wisconsin with my kids.
Pick up some people along the way. Take G with you.
I should just buy one. Yeah, and go. I have a VW Bug, and it's been in storage for a long while. So when I take it out, it has to go to the mechanic and all that. And I'm like, wouldn't it be just easier to buy a new one and just go? So anyway, I don't know what made me think of that, but it just
Dawn,
all the nostalgia.
Sorry, I was gonna say I've never thought about what car you have, but somehow a VW Bug is exactly right. So it's like, oh, of course it's what you have. I don't even know why, but it fits. It fits.
It does fit. And I didn't have VWs or Bugs until like, I don't know, 15, 20 years ago. I always drove Volvos and like a big car and, just safe on the freeway type of car. I was a Volvo girl. And then when I stopped working, I'm like, well, I had a car from my company for one thing. And so I'm like, okay, I got to buy a car. And I went with a friend and we're looking at all these cars that I had on my list. And then I don't know why I had seen a VW Bug commercial, and I'm like, what? I saw this VW commercial. Let's go over there. And she's like, this is you. I bought it right there. So I've had a couple since, but yeah, they're great. I mean, they give me what I want because they're not, well, I think they always were German engineering. They're like a heavier car, and that's important to me.
Yeah.
Because
about the draft,
freeways here, I know, right? About the draft.
I was gonna ask. I wanted to ask you.
We're being sponsored by VW. No, okay.
Yeah, right.
All right.
Do you have any people who you really hope we get tonight? Do you have any like draft crushes or anything like that?
Well, it brings me back to the mock draft whole thing, right? So I was trying to keep track. I mean, we need an edge so badly. The 49ers just got Williams.
Yeah, Michael Williams. I saw that. I was like, oh, dang it.
Mike was texting with my 49ers fan friend. I'm like, I was like, they're on the board. He's like, we're getting Williams. And he knew like 5 minutes before it was announced. So I don't know how he knew, but unless he was just thinking that, but he was right.
He was right.
I mean, there are still there's only one corner that has been taken so far.
Oh my goodness.
Right, at least, well, unless what was the Dolphins took? Who was after the Dolphins? Let's look.
Right after the Dolphins, I think, was the Colts,
Cardinals?
right?
No, that was before. Oh, Colts and then Cardinals. Yeah, so they didn't take a cornerback. So if one of the two, there's let's see, who is it? Hairston. And Trey Amos too, but Will Johnson was taken. Was Will Johnson taken?
Yeah, like really early.
Okay, Jade Barron was not taken yet.
Right, which is surprising, I think, actually.
Huge, right. So I could see a move for that.
Could happen. So, but is there somebody who you really hope we get, though? Like a specific player?
Well, I know nobody liked my pick for the mock draft, but I really like James Pierce. I knew I was going to give Maggie at least a heart attack. I didn't realize Kyle would go and give them all a heart attack. It was kind of funny. I don't think our Boston College guy, what's his name? I can't pronounce his name very well. Can you pronounce his name? Donovan.
Yeah,
Donovan's his first name. Let's just go with
Ezraku.
Yeah. I think he's more of a second rounder. So I could see them taking and letting him fall to the second round. I didn't think they would take him where, yeah, and what I researched, but it's not like I've researched for months like a lot of people have, but the little bit of
Yeah.
research I did, yeah,
I was
I thought,
thinking about that, Don. Like with all the draft content that we've been consuming, all the podcasts that are about the same 50 people that all that we've been listening to. I feel
right.
like because I haven't like looked at any tape myself because I'm not like that
Oh, no, I
thoroughly
don't.
into it.
Right.
It occurred to me this morning that like listening to all of this and hearing different people's takes, especially given the um sort of the prevailing opinion right now that between pick 10 and like into the 30s or 40s, it's kind of like flat in terms of like the same level of talent, and thus it's really hard to predict who's going to go where. And that also means people have very different opinions about like who should go earlier or later. Because of
Hmm.
that, this feels more than usual to me. Like let's say my wife and I want to go out to a nice dinner, and we're like,
Hmm.
okay, where should we go? There's actually really a lot of nice restaurants in Cincinnati, surprisingly large number. It's like, okay, well, there's like these 5, and they all have good reviews, and we have friends and family who have recommended each one, but like, I don't know which one's the best one. I have no idea. I haven't been there yet. So it's like,
Right. The best one
I,
for you. Right.
yeah, because like all these people have all these opinions about these draft picks, and it's like I
Right.
to the point where I don't even have a player who I'm really hoping we take. I know
Right.
there's a lot that I'd be really happy with. Like there's a lot that I've heard about enough times from
Right.
people whose opinions I respect, but even
Hmm.
then, they're like Shamar Stewart is very like divisive. You've got Justice Mosqueda, like his bit lately has been like, what is it, like crash the work truck, shake the secretary, Shamar Stewart is the one, but then other people are like his production's nothing, like why would you take him, like that's a project. So
Hmm.
even among the people whose voices I listen to the most, there's a lot of like different, like very different opinions, extremely varying.
Yes.
So yeah, I feel like there's like a collection of, I don't know, 10 or 12 names that like of people who could be perhaps available to
Hmm.
us, and if it's any of those, I'll be happy, and if it's somebody else, I'll probably like, I just didn't hear about them for some reason, and I'll look them up and be like, oh yeah, that somebody talked about
That,
that person on this one podcast, and that sounds great. I feel
yeah.
like we're gonna be good. I think is what I'm saying. I trust Gutekunst.
Yeah.
Maybe his first round hasn't always been like the best record, but I've got a good feeling about this one. So yeah,
I do too. I have a good feeling, and I feel really good about what he did in free agency.
yes,
Hmm. Which takes care of a few things. So, and then
yeah,
there's going to be the people that fall out, the undrafted free agents that we
hmm
can look at too. So I know we've been lucky to have so many picks the last couple of years, and just limited to 8 this year.
hmm
Just, I mean, some people don't even have that, but yeah. So yeah, I feel calm about it. I'm not
hmm
super. There are a lot of people that, obviously the top ones: Abdul Carter, Jante Membu. Obviously, some of these people, Sade,
hmm
Michael or Mikhail. Michael. Do they call him Michael Williams? Is it more
I've heard
Michael?
Michael and Michael, so I'm not sure what it is.
Okay. Yeah, he looked really good. So yeah, so it's just, I don't know. I don't know enough to get that riled up.
Yeah,
But I didn't feel confident about Donovan. I mean, I looked into it and it was like, "Oh, that seems really smart." And how do you put a value
mm,
on, okay, he has a relationship with the defensive coach, right? He's got a
hmm
relationship with Halfley. So that's
right,
got to, and he knows him and he knows his thinking. So that's got to be a value, but would you move up for him if he fell to you? I mean, so many of the big guys, like the Athletic and many others, didn't have him in the first round.
right,
So I didn't feel comfortable taking him when Pierce was available in the mock draft.
hmm
I will say I did not know Pierce had some issues with his potentially with his character. So if
yeah.
that's
I
the
didn't know
case,
about that
I
either
didn't
till
know about that.
afterwards. Yeah,
Yes. So on that one, I would have been like, "Oh, yeah, yeah. No, we'll stay away from," but he was ranked, I think at the time, he was ranked 20 by Dane Brugler. I'm
hmm
like, "He's ranked 20 and he's sitting there, and we're 23. That seems like, and we need an edge."
hmm
So that seems okay. And even with that, he could be traded. So you have to think about, okay, so he's got trade value if he doesn't work out or if he isn't right. So if you're not going to move up and you've got somebody that's within the range or high and such a freak athlete, somebody might really want him down the road, there might be a trade.
That's a good point.
Mhm.
I should say for context for our listeners, the mock draft that Dawn's talking about was the Pack-A-Day listener mock draft. So Dawn and I are both in that. That was huge fun. I'm gonna say a quick thanks to Andrew, especially Andrew Mertig, for actually relenting because he wasn't gonna do it. And so I think we kind of pushed him a little bit. I don't know who else did, but we both definitely did. Say, hey, could you do
I
it,
did a
please?
little bit. Yeah.
But also, of course, Kyle Fellows and Maggie Lunny, who were a part of that effort as well. So thanks to those guys for that. It was good fun. It is every year.
Double thanks and deepest apologies for my disappointment. And then I ended up with a second pick, which I was like, okay, so here's my story. I'm just going to explain myself here since we're on that. Okay, so it's a mock draft already. Okay, so somebody was like, will you trade with me? And I didn't see the message and for like a day. And so I guess I was holding everyone up. And so when I saw it, I was so embarrassed. So I'm like, okay, sure. And then after I traded with them, I'm like, oh, that I would never have done that trade for those, like for what we got back. But I did a trade and then had a pick. And so that was like, just whatever, that was not, I didn't put enough. I put some thought into it, of course. I can't even remember what it was. Do you remember what my second pick was?
I was trying to remember. I can't quite remember. It was near the end, right?
I'll look it up.
Yeah.
Yeah. In any case, I just, I wanted to be a team player there and just help the dude out that wanted to trade, which of course would never happen in real life. Like I would never be. I'm a much more cutthroat person than that in real life. But it's a mock draft. So like it's good. It's all good.
That's right.
So
just for fun.
Yeah, just for fun. And yes, thank you so much especially to Kyle. Didn't he say on the podcast that he was, because I listened to that coerced?
I think so.
I don't think we coerced. We're just like, hey, are you gonna do it? Yeah. Kyle is like me, not on Twitter at all anymore. So he thought it might make it difficult. But the Discord thing was a brilliant idea, Matt. Thanks to you for making that happen, right?
Yeah, I suggest that to Andrew to use that as a tool, because it used to just be like on Twitter direct messages. We get a group going. And yeah, so because Andrew's not on Twitter at all. He's totally off of it. Or
same.
X, we should say. Yeah. So but yeah, it's a good time. I should say too, speaking of that trio for the Friday Pack-A-Day, they're this weekend is tomorrow, the episode that's gonna be up is gonna be their last episode as a group. They're disbanding the three of them, which I'm sad to see because that was been one of my favorite Pack-A-Day crews. But it's gonna be Aaron.
That.
Yeah, they announced that this last Friday. So, but Aaron, our friend Aaron Alice, and Jimmy Christensen will be the Friday crew then for the immediate future, which is really exciting because I love those guys both. With all my heart. So, really excited to hear like how they do in that format.
Oh, good to know. Good to know. Thanks for that, Matt. I think. Totally could be wrong on this, but I think Maggie is due in May, isn't she, with their second baby?
Sounds about right.
That might be partly, that might be partly the impetus. Yeah. So, okay. Sounds great. That sounds great. Okay. So, hey, Matt, you know what it's time for?
What is it time for?
It's time for this week's superlatives. That's what it's time for. That's what it's time for, Maddie.
The almost lack of transition. Hey, Matt, you know what it's time for? Let's do it, Dawn. Let's do it.
How many? We're like 30 minutes in and we haven't even done our job yet. Okay. But it's okay because it's just been an exciting day and I'm so glad we're here together and we can just chat this out. Okay. So I have a bunch of superlatives. Mostly they're just gushing about draft week. So let me start.
Wait. I'm sorry, before you do. The Bengals took Shamar Stewart just now.
Okay.
So
It's about
now the
time
Packers
I
fans don't
got
have
him.
to argue about it if we take him. So wow. Go ahead, Bengals.
Mm-hmm.
Local team. All right. Sorry
Mm-hmm.
to interrupt. Go ahead.
That's right. Your second favorite team, right?
I try to like them. They make it hard.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I
It's
want to
kind of like
support the
the
local
Chargers.
team, but yeah.
Okay. First one. It's not really a superlative, but I'll call it stop it. Stop arguing the need for a number one. You know how I love that.
Hmm.
So, but no, this was a really good article. It seems like 100 years ago. It was April 3rd. Okay. So it was 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And this is by our friend, Wendell Ferreira.
Oh,
Packers'
nice.
philosophy regarding elite wide receivers isn't what you think, and it reveals a lot about how they build their roster. So this is a great article. I am not going to give you a synopsis. You just need to read it. It helped me because I'm kind of anti number one.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, I'm definitely anti. Please stop talking about Devontae Adams because you know I don't like recycling either. So I mean, I like recycling in life. I'm pro
Yes.
recycling. Don't get me wrong, but football players on teams that generally it doesn't happen. It doesn't happen for a reason. But anyway, I thought it was a really fresh take on this argument.
Hmm.
And he's pro number one wide receiver. And on draft night, I think it's really an appropriate thing to be thinking about because a lot of people were hoping that Gutekunst would move up for a wide receiver. I don't think so, but it was good food for thought pre-draft, draft week,
Hmm.
researchy kind of fresh thinking from Wendell.
Nice. Wendell's good for that. Not just like good
Mhm.
writing, good thinking, but like some fresh perspective. So I will go back and check that
Mhm.
out. I don't care if it's from 3 weeks ago. I'm sure it's still relevant.
It's still relevant for sure. It's going to be relevant all next year as everyone continues to argue about whether this was the way to go or not. So what do you have, Maddie?
All right. Well, my first of my typical 3 superlatives. My first one is best article. So, there's like a lot of draft guides, some extremely well known from like your, Dane Brugler's The Beast, which it's
Mhm.
almost like too chalk to say like best draft guide. Dane Brugler's The Beast, for like one of
Of
my superlatives. I'm
course,
not going to go there
right.
because that's too obvious, right? But I will say, I think for us, the best Packers, centric one is the Cheesehead TV draft guide, which is fantastic and just full of good information to pour over before the draft, after the draft. One of the
Mhm.
things I like the most about it, apart from like the analysis of the different positions, is the articles they always have at the top of the guide. And so they have some really great writers come in, do some really good work for that. And so of all of the articles in the Cheesehead TV draft guide, my favorite one was the one that the aforementioned Maggie Loney wrote. She wrote an
Mhm.
article on Packers position group analysis, which like sounds like a real like, okay, this will be just like some analysis. Like, it sounds like really straightforward. But the thing is, when Maggie Loney is writing it, it's going to be so insightful and really break down things in a way that makes you like kind of think differently about some of it, while also
Mhm.
kind of preparing you for like, okay, well, this is where things are at. That's going to help me like realize which positions are most important for drafting as we go through the whole process these next 3 days. And like, okay, so we've heard a lot of this kind of thing in podcast post season. A lot of people have been covering this, but yet somehow Maggie's that good that like
Mhm.
it felt fresh despite that. So I mean, her writing's exceptional, so insightful. I've said it before, I'll say it again. I think she's one of the smartest football minds in all of the Packers contentosphere. So excellent work to Maggie. Loved that. Great job.
I love that. I love that too. Maggie is so intelligent and
Mhm.
articulate and
Mhm.
really knows what she's talking about in terms
Mhm.
of um, the players, the draft, and everything football, quite
Everything
frankly.
football. Yep.
So,
Yep.
which is why I was super sad to have to disappoint her during the mock draft. But again, it's just a mock draft, all right?
Just my draft.
Okay. I wanted to shout out to Warden84, whoever you are, who was involved with the mock draft. Hi. I forgot what his username is on Blue Sky, but he robbed me of Shamar Stewart, and as did the Bengals just now. So that was just a
Mm.
memory that I had to get out of my system. Okay, so I have most artistic goes to um Spencer Nolan Young. He is one
Yeah.
of the artists involved in a lot of the mural art around Green Bay, Packers and otherwise. So Spencer had a great post on Facebook, and it was about the new Packers fence getting a makeover
Mhm.
for the NFL draft, and it's so welcome to Lambeau Field theme. And Cheesehead TV sponsored the special art installation. So shout out to both
Ooh.
Spencer and Cheesehead TV for the Packers fence for the draft. It's adorable, and I did post it over on my Facebook account.
Oh, check that out.
Mhm.
What was sort of the artwork on it? What was the image? What was the theme?
It was just, I don't know how to say it. It was just it captured the quaintness and the uniqueness that is Green Bay, right? And
Okay.
the neighborhood, and it wasn't like some kind of splashy all out like crazy thing. It
Mhm.
was just like, this is so perfect for what it is. And what I love, it's so far what I've seen on draft night
Mhm.
is that you can see by the 125,000 people in the crowd, which are primarily Packers fans, but not all, that they're staying true to their identity. They're not trying to be something they're not. And that's what I like about Wisconsin.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah.
Wisconsinites don't try to be something generally that they're not. Okay, you're always going to meet one or two here and there, but you know what I'm saying? It's just very quaint, and it's just very Green Bay,
You don't think of
and I liked it.
Wisconsin as being like a pretentious state, right? It's
Mm-mm.
that kind of a thing.
No,
Yeah.
right.
Love that.
But like a California, like you don't know when you meet somebody, like everyone's super friendly, but it's superficial usually. You don't know really. But if somebody actually says hi to you in Wisconsin, then they meant to say hi. That's
Yeah.
how I always described it. Yeah.
It's a genuine, sincere place. Yes. Yes,
Hmm.
indeed. All right.
Hmm. Yes,
Should I do my next one?
please do.
All right, Don. So my second superlative is best series. So I'd already said tonight, and I said it on our last podcast at least, that there's a saturation with all of the podcasts being about the draft, and just like again the same 50
Hmm.
people's names you keep hearing over and over again. So I was especially grateful to the Monday Pack a Day crew, which is Dan Kotnick, Camille Monet, and Monty Moore, all friends of the
Hmm.
show actually, and
Lovely. Hmm.
they've been killing it because the last 3 Mondays they did stuff that was not talking about draft picks, was not talking about these same names. Instead, they had kind of fun, like silly shows they did. So like 3 weeks ago, they did a draft trivia, like going way back, like deep into Packers history, talking about like funny draft trivia questions. Uh,
Mm.
2 episodes ago, Dan like used Chat GPT to like develop a player profile, and so he read like 2 real ones and the Chat GPT one, and then Monty and Camille had to guess which one was the fake one,
Oh,
which was hilarious.
fun.
It was super fun. And then this most recent one, he did an Airbnb Price is Right. So he he had them guess, like he like read through what the description of the Airbnb like ones that still had available bookings for this weekend.
Hmm. Okay.
Read through the description and then had them guess what the price was, but Price is Right style, where you can't go over the actual price. And the thing I loved about this,
Okay.
not just that it was like something different, like a different sort of approach to doing our podcast during draft time. What I loved about it, apart from that, was it had me like shouting out my answer in the car as I was driving down the road. I like no, it's 16,000. It's 16,000 money. What are you talking about? Like just kind of like trying to interact, like you guys, I think I know the answer. Like that kind of stuff. So I felt like I was there with them, like playing the
Yeah.
games and trying to guess the stuff as well.
Oh,
It was super
fun.
fun. I loved it. It was as very much appreciated as a change of pace from everything else. It's great stuff.
Right. Because you don't have to. Just because everyone is doing something, you don't
Yes.
have to do the exact same thing. Yeah, that's right.
Yes.
So in the meantime, Gray Zabel went to, who did he go to? I can't read that thing. Can you see it? I can't read that.
I just saw it too. He went to the Seahawks.
Oh, Seahawks. I couldn't read their little logo thing. So skinny and weird and pokey. Okay.
You just described Pete Carroll, their former head coach.
Okay, now he's with the Raiders, who got a pretty good
Yes.
pick. They got who did they get? They were like 6. Oh, they got Ashton.
I said they got Genty. Yeah, they
Blah.
got a really good pick. Well, I'm glad that
Yeah.
they got him and not the Bears, because there was a chance he could have
True.
fallen far enough. So really happy about that.
That's true, because I've already forgotten who the Bears got. My sister
They got the
asked me.
first tight end off the draft or off the board.
Oh,
which
like
people
Loveland.
thought,
tight
they got
end.
Colson Loveland. People were saying they thought that Tyler Warren would be the first one off, who the Colts got. So
Right.
maybe the Bears are picking the wrong one. We'll see. I don't know. Kind of hope so.
Wouldn't be a surprise.
No, Bears gonna bear. That's for sure.
Okay. Let's see. Okay, so I think, like, in the vein that you just mentioned, how everybody feels like obligated, if you're a content creator, not us, to cover all of them, because we don't know that much. No, speak for myself. I don't know that much. All the draft picks ad nauseum, over and over. Who's your mock draft? All of them. I mean, even national broadcasts do that. So also day one of the draft is like, it's important. It's the top picks. Great. Yay. Congratulations. They all worked hard. But so did the guys that get picked on day 2 and day 3, right? So I've always been a little bit about this. So here's something fun from WLUK Fox 11. Flag football players will announce draft picks on day 3 in Green Bay. Okay. Yes. Former Green Bay Packers players will participate in the Gridiron Greats Celebrity Flag Football Game, which is a charity football game to wrap up NFL Draft Week. I just thought that was sweet and special. I actually heard about that from Jordan Love. He was on Rich Eisen's show last week. Otherwise, I wouldn't have known, and I looked up the article. So it also says top prospects for the 2025 NFL Draft will also participate in the Flag Football Clinic with local Special Olympics athletes and youth football players. So little things like there are millions of little things like this going on apart from the big stage event that's going on as we speak, which are just as important or more, in my opinion. So, So shout out
Aaron
to...
Jones.
Yeah. Sorry, Aaron Jones. Yes.
Showing up and doing some charity stuff. Yeah, absolutely. Sorry to cut you off there, though.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Just like Aaron Jones. That was so sweet. My sister sent me an article about that too today. Aaron Jones looking for his teammates, and none of them are in town. They're probably just, as Jordan Love posted on his Instagram account, staying out of the way this week.
Yeah. Wise, I think.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot going on. So I was wondering if our coach or anybody would take the stage at any point, because I think they do. Like when it was in Detroit, the what's his name did Campbell.
I don't remember. I believe you. I remember.
Yeah.
I did see a little video. There's a little video that I think Matt Steinman had posted from inside the Packers war room. It was like no sound, it's just like some images. And Matt LaFleur has like a fresh haircut. He's looking sharp, so hopefully he gets to get some time on camera. You know,
he should. Should. He's a cute coach. He should.
He's
put
a
him
cute
in front of the camera. All right, Maddie. What else do you have?
Yeah, the thing about Aaron Jones, I was going to say, it really made me happy that he says something like he still really cares about like the Green Bay community. He still feels very like, invested and like he really cares about it. I was like, aw, Aaron Jones.
I know.
Such a sweetie. I love that guy.
I know. He said it was a special community.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
Love that. You're darn right, Aaron Jones. So my last superlative for this week, Dawn, is a pretty short one. It's best analogy. There's a few people who we regularly consume content of who are especially good with analogies. And so this one goes to our pal, Paul Noonan. He's talking about running backs. This is going to stick with me. He was saying that the O-line is like the cake and the running backs are the frosting. Because if you don't have good cake, if you just have the frosting, it's just a gloopy mess. You can't do anything with it by itself. You need a good O-line for the running backs to really be, worth it. And I was like, oh man, Such a
Yeah.
good analogy. And I love too that, the last couple episodes we've been talking about cake and like consuming draft
Yep.
content as like building a cake, right? So it's like, oh,
Yep.
it's in line with the cake stuff. But that's how I'm always going to think about running backs from now on and be like, do they have an O line? Do they have, cake to affix
Right.
the frosting to? And yeah,
Hmm.
it was perfect. Good analogy, Paul. Love it.
We always love a good analogy. Yeah, I'm still worried until I see it this coming year season
Hmm.
that our O line is really established because it really has been musical chairs for 2 years. And
Yeah. Yeah.
for that reason and that reason alone, and many other reasons obviously are going to play into it, but for that reason alone, that makes you not a Super Bowl team if you
Hmm.
don't have that solid base to work on, whether it's your
Yeah.
running backs or anything else. So yeah, and draft night, I even would have on mock draft if there was a good O-line player available. In fact, I think that was my second pick, was somebody on the O-line, which I think a lot of
Mm.
people were like, "What?" Well, it's because I'm worried about our O-line. I mean, sure, you can tell me it's set in stone now, but I haven't seen it in a couple of years. So
Yeah.
until I see it, I'm not going to be sure,
Well,
right?
and the play against the Eagles, it was like we just kept losing people. Like the starters almost all went down, and the
Mhm.
depth was no good. It was just like, oh, this isn't as stable and as solid as I thought it
Mm-mm.
was. It's
Right.
kind of alarming.
Exactly.
So yeah, we need some good backups, some reinforcements, some depth, and I'm sure that we'll pick up some O linesmen over the course of the next couple of days. But
Right.
yeah, no, I know what you're saying, Don. Absolutely.
Right. And if there's like a star sitting there and we're picked on number 23 and he's just sitting there and he should have gone at 10,
Hmm.
like I wouldn't be surprised if the Packers would grab him.
Oh, I don't know.
I wouldn't. Yeah, I wouldn't be
It's
upset.
not
I
the most
shouldn't say
exciting pick.
I wouldn't be upset. I wouldn't be upset.
Yeah,
Let's put it that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's not a fun, exciting pick. It's not a shiny toy, like a
Right.
stud receiver or whatever. But yeah, it's important. You got to have that foundation. You got to build in the trenches, as they say.
That's right. It's such a base. All right. Well, my final is just kind of like, if you are listening and you haven't seen any of the local coverage, there was just a really great slideshow. And even if this is after the draft, to take a look at this, it was over 300 images, and this was
Hmm.
JS Online, or Journal Sentinel.
Yeah.
You could probably get it if you subscribe, but I don't think they would put 300 images on it. But their online version has over 300 pictures, and they're just so sweet, of the entire week building up,
Hmm.
community members, what they were doing, all of that. And just so a picture is worth 1,000 words. And so I would recommend, if you're interested in seeing that, go there. JS Online. And I think the link, the article was Aaron Jones, Green Bay 2025 NFL Draft. So if you look up those keywords, you'll find it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Outstanding, Don.
Yeah, we made it. We're not picking yet. It was still on pick number, where are we? About 20?
Yeah, as we record this, the Broncos pick is in allegedly, and the Pittsburgh Steelers are on the clock, so we're getting close.
We're getting
Very
very
exciting,
close.
Don.
I'm really excited. So, oh yeah, I took Emeka Egbuka.
Ibuka, yeah.
Yeah. Gray Zabel was somebody I would have really liked, but of course that was an offensive guard, so wouldn't probably
Yeah.
taken him. But boy, he'd be nice to have.
Oh yeah, I was impressed by. I did see some of his stuff actually. I was really impressed. So I was bummed to see him go off before we get him, but that's okay. It's okay. It's how it goes.
Yeah, so it's Broncos on the clock, then Steelers, Chargers, and Green Bay. I don't see us going down. I don't see us trading down. I really
Yeah,
don't. And
we'll see. We'll see, but
there are a lot of good things, a lot of good people on. Let's see who's still on the map here for us. Draft night. Okay, so let's see. I didn't fill in all the blanks. Did Tyler Warren did not go right to, but we wouldn't maybe take a tight end. Tyler Warren.
Tyler Warren
So
is with the Colts.
he went to the Colts. Okay.
Yeah,
I might as well write that down. And who else did I have? Will Johnson, cornerback, still on the board?
Will Johnson. Let's see here. I think he is still available. This is good podcasting, folks. Looking up stuff as we talk. He is still available as
The
of
real
this
experience.
recording, as of right now.
Will Johnson is still available. We only have 3 more picks for the Packers. Well, actually 4 if you count the Broncos.
I'd be happy with that one.
Yeah, Will Johnson. Did Jalen Walker go yet? Edge? No.
He did. He went to the
Georgia
Falcons.
took him. I mean, Falcons. Georgia took him. He's at Georgia. The Falcons took him. Okay.
And the Broncos got Jadav Aaron. That's who ended up taking him.
Oh,
Good
well,
for
good
the
for
Broncos.
them. That
Yeah,
would have
he's
been
good.
nice. Okay.
I know.
So Broncos. Mike Green, Edge. Did he get taken?
I don't think he did, but wasn't there something that came out about him? I might be making that up.
Was that
Could be
Mike Green
something.
or was that my guy? What's his name?
Or both.
Pierce, yeah.
James
Hope
Pierce Jr.
not.
Yeah, it might be both. I'm not gonna remember. Well, anyhow, should
Yeah,
we bring it
so-
home here as we're just evolving
Mike
until
Green
checking lists?
and James Pierce are still on for Edge. So yeah, let's bring her home, Maddie.
All
Because
right,
the
well,
anticipation is killing me.
I know it's killing me too. So yeah, we'll be back in 1 or 2 or 3 weeks, folks, and
Something like that.
I don't know. We'll figure it out. It's the off season. Who knows? But just so happy to be with you tonight, Don. I've been looking forward to this. So anyhow, friends, we'd love to have a chance to interview you and shout you out if you're a subscriber and a football fan. If you'd like to nominate someone to be a guest on our podcast, please let us know. Our DMs are open on all the social platforms. And folks, when you subscribe to our podcast, you help us to keep spreading the love in our community. And the best way to help this podcast grow is by sharing it with your friends and family.
Yes, Maddie, that's right. Because we love you. We're so glad to know you, to be fans of you, and have the luxury of being fans of the most storied team in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
We appreciate your support, your subscriptions, and sharing our pod. And we look forward to seeing you in a couple of weeks on
Hey, we like your pod.
Football in general comes down to discipline and people owning their roles. And when you aren't disciplined or you go outside the scheme, bad stuff happens.